How you doing, What Culture? My name is Simon Miller, and you have indeed clicked a video within YouTube land, and it's brought you here. It has brought you to ups and downs for the WWE show known as Monday Night Raw. And you want to know what we do? What we do every Tuesday? I watch that show, and then I give the good bits an up, and I give the bad bits a down, and nobody wants to get a down. Wrestlers everywhere are tuning in as well. They're going, please, Simon, don't give me a down. Well, I can only give downs where downs are deserved. Enough nonsense, let's up those downs. I tell you what WWE is very good at, pull-apart brawls, and that is indeed how Raw started this week, as they had a pull-apart brawl between Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley. Getting that began a bit weird because as Roman Reigns was walking to the ring in the backstage area, Bobby Lashley came up to him and was like, dare you to call me out, dude? You're like, you're right there. What are you talking about? Why don't you hit him if you want to hit him? So that was a bit convoluted, but hey, eventually Reigns did go to the ring. He did call Bobby Lashley out. Then Kurt Angle and Constable Corbin, they came on the stage, look, everybody calm down. But they didn't want to calm down, so they started to whip each other's ass. It got so crazy that at one point the entire Raw locker room emptied. And even then, it wasn't enough, because at one point Lashley broke free and he nailed Reigns and forearms. Then Reigns broke free. He did that crazy dive he did over the top rope onto everybody. That looked really cool. Eventually, of course, they were separated, but I will tell you this was a very good start to Raw. This was a very cool segment, and it got me interested in their feud this Sunday at Extreme Rules. A lot of people have been going, it's the same old bull, so on, bullshit. I'll just say it, I've said it. Same old bullshit. Sometimes bullshit's all right, because you know what to expect, and it ticks some boxes. I mean, actual bullshit doesn't tick any boxes. I've said that word too much now. Let's stop saying it, but I liked it. So good work, WWE. Weirdness with the women's division followed as we had Nia Jax teaming up with Natalya to take on Mickie James and Alexa Bliss. And here, on this night, Nia Jax was a massive face again. So you explain that to me. She's a face, and she's a heel, and she's a face again, and there's been no reason as to why. However, the fans seem to dig this, and really that's all that matters. Get to know. Nothing major happened here other than Jax getting the win on Mickie James after she slammed her down with a Samoan drop. And then after the match, Alexa Bliss was like, you know what, I'm going to run in there, and I'm going to smack you with a kendo stick. But you can't hurt Nia Jax with a kendo stick. She's too big. She just, made her flutter away. That was that. It was all right. All right. Okay. Kevin Owens then won Raw again by being excellent. Up. He mentioned how he's not allowed to compete this evening because of everything that Braun Strowman had done last week. And do you know what Kurt Angle did? Do you know what Kurt Angle did here? He laughed. He laughed at Kevin Owens. How is that good? I'll tell you this. Given the last few weeks and how our Raw GM has been acting, I think he's a bit of an asshole. And I thought he was supposed to be a good guy. Anyway, Owens then decided he was going to stay in Kurt's office for the entirety of Raw. That made me happy. Kurt didn't like that. He looked all mad. Mojo Rawley then just beat No Way Jose down. This is why we did all those skits on Raw for the past 2 weeks, so we could just have a throwaway bout on a random episode here on a Monday night. I mean, if you're going to do it, WWE. Put some stock in here. Give it some story. Make people matter. Also, poor No Way Jose, called up from NXT with absolutely no plans, and now he's deader than a goldfish you let your 5-year-old look after, because kids don't understand responsibility, and that goldfish wasn't fed, and now it's dead. Poor No Way Jose. It did end after Mojo hit No Way with the Alabama Slam, so maybe, just maybe, WWE are planning on pushing him, but who knows. And another Sasha Banks and Bayley clip followed this, and now Dr. Shelby is gone, and a lady has taken his place, even though it was the same office. So I don't know why that happened. I'm sure there was some reason. And basically, Bayley here said that Sasha Banks has always been a bad friend because Sasha Banks only cares about Sasha Banks. Now, I'll say this. It was nowhere near as bad as it was 7 days ago. It is still getting it down. And this whole Jinder new character thing is actually real. He was all just peaceful and happy-go-lucky here again today. And once more, it was never explained. What was the catalyst to turn Jinder into, I don't know, cool, calm, collective guy? But that's what happened, and him and Sunil Singh eventually approached Seth Rollins. Now, look, Seth, don't burn things down. Just embrace inner peace. Luckily and smartly, Seth Rollins then backed off, looking like, you dude's crazy. because those dudes look crazy, but whatever, give it up. That segued into a spot between Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, where basically we continue to set up their Iron Man match, which is happening this Sunday at Extreme Rules. And yes, this is Sunday right here. Sunday, happy Sunday. I mean, nothing really special happened here, but they did what they had to do, so there's nothing wrong with that, so we can give it an up. And Seth Rollins started it by walking out. He ran down Dolph Ziggler, called Drew McIntyre a Scottish Wookiee or something stupid like that, which eventually brought those two out, and then they just ran Seth Rollins down for a while. You know how it works. The normal promo off in WWE, including Dolph Ziggler saying maybe at Extreme Rules he will win that Iron Man match 100-0. I don't think that's possible. Dolph, you've only got 30 minutes. Think how many pins you'd have to do. Drew McIntyre then realised, hey, wait a minute, Seth Rollins has been insulting me. Challenged the man to his match. He accepted. That's our main event. Whoop-de-doo. Now, I like the B team and I like Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, but this week, well, it was just a down. We had all the impressions again, then eventually Matt Hardy did take on Bo Dallas, but here, it all just fell a little bit flat. And the story, or the concept was, in the match, Matt was done with all the impersonations and the imitations, all of that. He was sick of it, so he kind of like beating up Bo Dallas really hard. Then obviously Bray Wyatt and Curtis Axel kept getting involved, which opened up the opportunity. I think Bo Dallas hit a cutter or something. 1, 2, 3. Once again, the B team beat the Raw Tag Team Champions in single match competition. Afterwards, the champs laid out the challenges, and now we limp on through to the pay-per-view on Sunday. And I think with this one, we had one extra week, or 1 week too many in terms of the build. If we had gone from last week into Sunday, that would have been better, but we didn't, so yeah, just a bit meh. Then I thought Bobby Lashley cut a pretty damn good promo on Roman Reigns. Said that he respects everybody that he does fight apart from Roman Reigns, and that Roman Reigns should forget about 10 years ago and start focusing on Sunday. He then said after the pay-per-view, Reigns ain't gonna walk out of there, which means Bobby Lashley threatened to murder Roman Reigns. You heard it here first. Well, second. He said it first, and now I'm repeating it, but he didn't, underline the fact he wanted to do a death, which he clearly did. Tune in for that. A down though for Tyler Breeze giving Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan Fashion Please shirts, only for them to go, we don't do fashion, we riot, and they ripped the t-shirts up and they threw them back in Tyler Breeze's face. This was awful. Down. And then Ember Moon beat Liv Morgan, and I once more thought I must have invented time travel. Down. And another down for the promo between Bobby Roode and Finn Balor. The pair are teaming up to take on Baron Corbin and Elias later, but it was the most scripted thing ever. It was so scripted, I felt like the script was being thrown in the TV screen like this, and I was just reading the words. I do think that Finn Balor may have referenced the Sid Justice promo from back in the day, when he said about having half a brain or whatever he said, and I like that. But otherwise, this was just there, like a sign going, keep driving, you're almost at your destination. It was back to Owens and Angle after this, and I started to think, yep, Kevin Owens should have been given the role as the Constable for Kurt Angle, because he plays it a lot better. Getting up. It started with Kevin Owens spraying air freshener everywhere because he said that Angle's offices stink. Then Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre arrived, and basically Kurt Angle said, look, you're having this match later, Drew. If you lose, you're banned from ringside this Sunday at Extreme Rules. Usual nonsense with Elias was next, but you know it's good because it's always good, so that's getting it up, even though Baron Corbin threatened to give it a down because he joined in and he did a version of Itsy Bitsy Spider, but he changed it to Itsy Bitsy Balor. But still, it's an up, because Elias gets an up. The match was decent enough too, although once again this felt like it just existed, and the finish came after Baron Corbin hit the end of days on Bobby Roode of all people. And don't forget, as far as I'm aware, Bobby Roode ain't on the pay-per-view on Sunday. Good thing we called him up. More Owens loveliness followed as he offered the last bite of his sandwich to Kurt Angle. You know what Kurt Angle said? Kurt Angle refused and said no. If that doesn't prove my point from earlier, I don't know what does. Strowman then walked in, which basically called Kevin Owens to jump out of his skin. And Kurt Angle then said, you know what? At Extreme Rules, we're going to have a cage match between you two, which is more unfairness to Kevin Owens. Strowman then said he could smell Owens' fear, and then he sprayed the same air freshener around that Kevin had sprayed earlier. And I had a moment here where I was like, I'm just a little bit worried we're getting a bit too campy with those Braun Strowman segments. Whatever, all of this was good. I can't remember if I gave it an up. If I didn't, it still gets an up. Then Roman cut a decent promo as well. Up. Basically just responded to Lashley and then also said once he's done with him, he's going to move on to bigger and better things. And unfortunately, I think bigger and better things means Brock Lesnar, which means we get to see that match again. And thank goodness for that. We haven't seen that over and over and over and over and over again. I can keep going with that. I can keep going, but I won't. It was good though, and I thought WWE did a decent job with both Reigns and Lashley all evening, and they got me to actually care about their program. So that's 2 thumbs up. And it's a nut for Drew versus Seth in the main event, and especially for McIntyre, because his performance here surely is only going to help as he continues to take steps towards the main event scene. Just a great back and forth with Drew constantly countering Seth's really quick arsenal. Of course, eventually Ziggler got involved, as he's wont to do. That distracted Seth and gave him a curb stomp. McIntyre was like, "You idiot." Now got opening, slammed him with the Claymore kick, 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre wins, and yes, he will be at ringside with Dolph Ziggler this Sunday at Extreme Rules. That was a bit much. Didn't really need to do that with my voice. It was a bit strange. But I will say, a good go-home show as we lead into the pay-per-view this Sunday. I've said that about 1,000 times, but they do that on WWE TV. So if they do it, why can't I do it? Extreme Rules this Sunday, WWE Network. Enjoyable though. I thought so anyway. I know I'm a positive dude, but I thought it was enjoyable. I care about most of the things that are going on. Now we'll see if they can pull it off. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's episode of Raw. Like, share and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles, and follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. I mean, not there. That's Sunday. We established that, but go do it anyway. I'm Simon from WhatCulture. Thanks for watching, and make sure you tune in tomorrow as we up those downs for SmackDowns, and at some point this week, we'll also give our predictions for Extreme Rules. You want to watch that too.